YouTube, I'm going to do the vegan favourites tag today because I was tagged by Thankyou Tommy and gotta love this new, very, very boring background. But, you know, let's just go with it for now. At least it's better than my radiator. I don't know, I think I prefer the radiator to this, but oh well. Anyway, so question number 1 is favourite vegan joke. Okay, my favourite vegan joke, and this is really funny, like so funny. You'll laugh out loud. How many meat eaters does it take to change a light bulb? None. They would rather stay in the dark about things. I don't know, I just found that really funny because it's so true. Okay, question number 2 is favourite vegan quotes. Am I allowed 2? I have so many vegan quotes that I love. I'm going to say that I'm allowed 2, even though I don't know if I can read my handwriting, so maybe I'll end up only having 1. Okay, my first favourite quote is about like the health side of veganism, and it's, some people think that the plant-based whole foods diet is extreme. 500,000 people will have their chests opened up and a vein taken from their leg and sewn into their coronary arteries. Some people would call that extreme. That is my number 1 favourite quote, and the second one is more about the ethical side of veganism, and I think it counts as law revision because it's by one of like the law philosophical people, and that is, the question is not can they reason, can they talk, or can they talk, but can they suffer? And that is by Jeremy Bentham. If you want to know, if you're doing A2 law, learn about him because it'll get you some good marks. Favourite hypothetical scenario that gets thrown at you as a vegan? It has to be the desert island one. Like, if your boat gets shipwrecked and you end up on a desert island with nothing, would you eat animals? Like number 1, I'm not even planning on getting on a boat anytime soon. I don't like boats. Number 2, wouldn't there be plants on this island? Like, surely if there's animals on this island, like the animals, you know, it's just completely an unrealistic hypothetical scenario. Okay, number 4. Are we on number 4? I can't count anymore. Number 4 is favourite vegan meat replacement. Honestly, I have only tried the Linda McCartney red onion and rosemary sausages. That's like the only meat replacement I've ever tried. I know, I've been vegan for like six months in a couple of weeks' time. Yeah, six months on October the 12th. I would have been vegan for 6 months and I've only tried Linda McCartney red onion and rosemary sausages, and they're amazing. They taste so much like meat, it's actually scary, but I actually prefer them to meat. And the reason I've never really tried any meat substitutes, well, at first it was because I was scared of soya, like as if it was somehow going to kill me, and now now I limit my soya for different reasons than those reasons. But yeah, at first I didn't eat like any vegetarian or vegan meat replacements because I thought soya was somehow toxic. Yeah, and I wasn't really like a huge meat person in the first place anyway. Like, obviously I ate meat, and I ate meat at like meat or fish like two to 3 times a day. Yeah, I'm not gonna say I didn't eat any meat before I was vegetarian. Yeah, I did eat a lot of meat because obviously I ate with my parents and they cooked with meat, and the bacon baguettes at college, like, I used to be majorly addicted to the bacon baguettes at college before I went vegetarian. So yeah, but I wasn't really overly fussed about meat. Like, I could have quite happily lived without it other than bacon if I wanted to. I guess, which then obviously, yeah, I did end up wanting to. Favourite thing about being vegan? I have so many favourite things about being vegan. Like, am I only allowed 1? I love being vegan for so many reasons. I mean, even when I was just mostly vegan, I loved that for so many reasons. I loved it for the huge impact it had on my health and like my physical well-being on a day-to-day basis. It had a huge impact on my energy levels. It made me less pain all the time. It just made me feel better. Like when I went climbing, I wouldn't take as long to heal as I did before, or I wouldn't pull muscles as easily, and if I was to get a cold, it would go away a lot quicker. And so like for all those health reasons, I love veganism. But I also love veganism because it's kind of encouraged me to open up and like broaden my horizons with food. It sounds really weird because technically veganism, you know, on the surface of it looks like you're restricting certain food groups, but since being vegan, I've tried things which I never would have tried before going vegan. I mean, I never would have considered trying vegan ice cream when I could have the regular thing, and going vegan wasn't even in any sort of like contemplation on my mind. I would never have done that. I would never have tried eating vegan specific chocolate, or eating vegan specific cheese, or eating vegan specific yogurt, or you know, just I've tried all of these things which I would never have tried before, and it's amazing. Like I kind of feel like my whole world is opened up to all this amazing food which I didn't know existed, and some people kind of look down upon because it's vegan and it tastes horrible, but like that is so not true. And I know these are really selfish reasons for like loving being vegan, and like really selfish favorite reasons, but I feel like I might be quite a selfish person, you know. And yeah, obviously I do love that I can, you know, save the animals and help the animals and the environment as well. Like that is why I'm vegan, but my favorite things are like the impact it's had on my body and my mentality, because these are things which I didn't realize could like happen until, you know, like 6 months ago, or like more than 6 months ago, because I was mostly vegan for a few months. Yeah. My least favorite thing about being vegan. Now this is the last question. I'm gonna try and word this in a way that makes sense. Okay, so my least favorite thing about being vegan, well, one of them is the fact that I'm kind of now seen in a different way by my family. Like I don't know where it comes from. Well, I do know where it comes from because my parents aren't particularly, I mean, they're accepting of me now, but they weren't in the first place. My mum's still not fully accepting of me as a vegan, and it took a while for like my nan and like my granddad especially to like become accepting, because they've all thought like veganism was extreme, and they probably do still feel the same way, they just don't show it as much anymore. And I haven't seen like my family for 2 weeks, so it doesn't matter anymore. But it's the fact that like my brothers view me in a different way now I'm vegan, and they view me as I'm this sort of weird extreme person who only eats vegetables, and I don't know, I don't want my brothers to view me like that. And it's just kind of sad, but like they've been taught and brought up in a way that they believe eating meat, dairy and eggs is so normal that anyone who doesn't is instantaneously weird. So that's probably like my least favorite thing about being vegan. It's like having to navigate family situations as a vegan when I'm in a family that isn't necessarily 100% accepting of veganism. I'd say more on my dad's side. My dad's side is a lot more accepting than my mum's side. Like my nan on my dad's side buys me things from like Holland and Barrett, and she makes me so happy because she brought me like vegan mint chocolate, and it tastes like After Eight, and I have an addiction with mint chocolate right now. So yeah, you have to bear with me on my current addiction levels. And yeah, so that is my least favorite thing about being vegan. And another thing I don't really like about being vegan, which I wouldn't say is my least favorite thing, but something I just want to say, it's that like when you go vegan, you can't just eat whatever. Like before you go vegan, you can just walk into a shop and pick up whatever, and suddenly you actually have to spend extra time and extra effort into thinking about what you're going to eat and where you're going to eat if you're on the go. And obviously it's all totally worth it for all the benefits of veganism. It is all so worth it for the animals, but especially when you first go vegan and you're not really sure what you can have and what is really like available to you. Yeah, it's definitely not like a very nice part of being vegan. Anyway, that is all, and I am going to do that really annoying thing where I say everyone who watches this video is tagged if they want to be. So go and do this tag, and I will put the questions in the description. And I cannot think anymore because, you know, life, right? Yeah, and I'll see you in my next video, and remember to follow me on all my other social medias, which links will also be in the description.